Hello and welcome to this edition of How's That? With me, as always, is Vijay Lokapally, my friend and colleague. Good morning to you, Vijay.
Yeah, good morning, Raja Raman. Good cricket we got to see last night.
Two fantastic games, both going to the last over, and terrific finishes from wonderful strikers of the ball in the end. Unfortunately for teams that set targets, that they ended up on the losing side. And I'm speaking here of Rajasthan Royals and Chennai Super Kings.
Yes, obviously any target of 170 plus should be able to defend because given the state of the pitches now. But of course, when you are playing at a small ground, and then if you're bowling to the Villiers, no target is defendable.
De Villiers, of course, took Royal Challengers Bangalore to victory over Rajasthan Royals with some amazing hitting. Three of them of successive balls bowled by Jaydev Unadkat, and then the match was as good as sealed by that time. And in the other game, it was Shikhar Dhawan and Akshar Patel who took Delhi Capitals over the line and took them to the top of the table.
Yes, I don't think Unadkat should feel bad because De Villiers would have hit those sixes against any bowler who would have come in front of him. And again, Unadkat can learn good lessons because after all, he was slammed by the best batsman today, a T20 batsman in the world. And of course, as far as Shikhar Dhawan is concerned, Delhi Capitals must be very happy. And Akshar Patel finally is able to do justice to his talent. You know, he's a much underrated all-rounder.
But I think last night, one of the biggest talking points was why Bravo did not bowl that last over. He was not on the field. The problem with watching cricket on television is that it does not show you who is on the field. And like we have discussed before, watching cricket on the field itself, from the press box, you're able to make out that Bravo is not on the field. But a lot of chatter was about Dwayne Bravo not bowling that last over.
Oh yes, it was as if Dhoni was deliberately keeping Bravo out of the attack. You know, as if Dhoni wanted to lose the match, as if Dhoni doesn't know captaincy, and as if Dhoni doesn't understand the intricacies of cricket, which is very sad actually because I'm aghast at how people attack Dhoni's captaincy without knowing the facts behind why Bravo was not on the field. I mean, Raja Raman, you tell me, would Dhoni be so foolish that he would have Bravo on the field and still insist on a left-hand spinner bowling to these two batsmen in the last over?
Dhoni, of all the people, will be most aware of the kind of negative talk that happens around him, around his captaincy especially. I think it is a little unfair, not just a little, I think it's a lot unfair to Mahendra Singh Dhoni's abilities to read the game and to snatch victories from the jaws of defeat. Chennai Super Kings had done really well to pull the game back, but to not bowl Bravo would have been foolish, and I don't think Dhoni will ever make such a mistake of having a left-arm spinner bowl to two left-handed batsmen. Dhoni of all the people would know that Bravo is in the side primarily to be able to bowl at the death. And in fact, he had done that in a couple of games previously. But if he's off the field, there was so little that Dhoni could do. His other option was Karan Sharma with his leg spin bowling. The ball was quite wet, and he had to go with the greater experience of Ravindra Jadeja at that point of time.
Yes, and believe me, there are times when Dhoni would not reveal. I know it for fact that there are times when the bowlers back off. Dhoni doesn't expose them. You know, there have been occasions when bowlers would have been a little reserved or a little apprehensive of coming and bowling at that particular point. So he understands, and this was very strange. I mean, people attacking him for not giving Bravo the last over when the fact was that Bravo was not available to bowl, which is which obviously everyone got to know later. But I was really surprised by the kind of how he was attacked on the social media, and the people questioning his wisdom of not giving the last over to Bravo. Arey bhai, he was not on the field. How will he bowl?
Right. One person who knew that Bravo would not bowl that last over was Shikhar Dhawan. He was in the middle. He obviously knew who was on the field and who was not. And he was confident that it was going to be Ravindra Jadeja bowling the left arm spin. Let's watch what Shikhar Dhawan has to say about the confidence that he drew from the fact that Bravo was not on the field.
We knew that last over Bravo cannot bowl, and we knew that Jadeja gonna come. So as left-handers, we had that advantage, and of course it's a bit of a small ground. And I would say that half in due was also there. So as we kept wickets in hand, so it got we took the advantage of that thing as well.
Vijay is also an apt time to watch what Stephen Fleming had to say about that decision.
Unfortunately, Dwayne Bravo got injured, so he couldn't bowl his last over, and naturally he's our death bowler. So it's pretty much the way our season's going. We're getting little challenges thrown up at us, and no, Jadeja wasn't planned to bowl at the death, but with Bravo being injured, it was the only option. And we did well to create a situation where it could have worked in our favour, but again, not ideal, and we're just going to keep working hard to try and turn it around.
I think people will keep attributing motives to every decision that a captain makes on the field. Sometimes decisions are taken out of a captain's hand and forced on him, and we got to see one like that last night. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni and his team really did well, Vijay, to claw back into the game and to take it into that last over on a field that was small, on a track that was better than in the first inning, and with a ball that was going wet.
Yes, and I fully understand the passion of cricket fans. They want the team to do well. They want their heroes to excel. They just cannot accept the fact that the other team was better that particular day. But I think we have to be a little restrained when we judge legends, icons who have spent their lifetime on the cricket field. I mean, this is what they've been doing all their life. Who is to bowl the last over? Who is to bowl the first over? Who will go in and bat when? Who will field where? So to kind of judge them without giving them an opportunity to feel, say what they have gone through is unfair. And as I'm sure it must be so embarrassing for people who came to know later that Bravo was not available to bowl. He was injured.
This is a team that is aging, Vijay. Chennai Super Kings, they dropped a few catches last night and allowed Shikhar Dhawan the liberty of playing as freely as he did. Of course, the positive intent that Shikhar Dhawan has got in the last few games has helped him, and to get a maiden century after more than 160 IPL games calls for a little celebration from Shikhar Dhawan.
Yes, and I was not surprised. I mean, not he, of course, it's the 100 has come too late for him in the IPL history. But the way he batted, he took his chances. He knew it was his day because when you see the catches and being dropped, you also kind of get a confidence. Chalo, aaj to mera din hai, and that's what it was. He played some outstanding strokes, and it is the temperament. He was there to finish the game. It's another matter that he tried to take the single and put Akshar Patel on strike, but good because look at what Akshar Patel delivered. He has proved to be an asset, and I'm telling you, Raja Raman, that he is going to grow from this inning, this particular game.
Let's watch what Shikhar Dhawan has to say about Akshar Patel, Vijay, particularly given the fact that he was watching such clean hitting from across the length of the pitch.
He's been always a great asset to our side, and whenever we demand that he has to come and bowling, he'll come. He's quite economical and always take wickets, and even with the bat, like today, how he came in that over, he just took the game away from CSK, and of course, having that quality all-rounder makes a huge impact on the side, and glad that we got a very complete side as well.
There is no doubt that Shikhar Dhawan has praised everybody in the team. This is a team effort, and you're getting to see the Delhi Capitals gel as a unit and perform really well. Delhi Capitals, of course, won that game, but there was one sore point that will stick out, and that has got to do with Ajinkya Rahane's batting form. A terrific batsman. Let's discuss him a little bit, Vijay. But before we do that, Vijay, let us take a question from Vaibhav Wage of the North Stand Gang, Mumbai.
मैं अजिंक्य रहाणे का बहुत बड़ा फैन हूँ, मगर जिस तरह से अजिंक्य रहाणे का जो लास्ट 3 साल से जो परफॉर्मेंस चल रहा है वो उसके बैटिंग स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से काफ़ी बिलो पा है। तो अभी जैसा T20 गेम चल रहा है, फास्ट एंड फ्यूरियस है, जो ज़्यादातर बैट्समैन आते हैं वही एक पर्टिकुलर माइंडसेट लेके आते हैं, मतलब कैसा जैसा उल्टा फल्ली मारोला ये टाइप का। तो मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि अजिंक्य रहाणे अभी के T20 फॉर्मेट में सूट होता है क्या, या वो प्लेइंग 11 में बैठ सकता है क्या? और सेकंड थिंग है कि जिस तरह से उसका फॉर्म जो चालू है, तो मेरा कहना है कि उसमें क्या गलती है, या उसने अपने अप्रोच या माइंडसेट में या बैटिंग स्टाइल में क्या बदलाव करने चाहिए, ये मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ।
It's obvious Vaibhav is a big fan of Rahane, and why not? Because Rahane proved his captaincy credentials when he led India to victory against Australia in the only test match he led there. And then as a batsman, I think he has proven time and again in test matches, 100 in each innings. And here, of course, it is lack of form. Also, the fact that he is not getting a good run with the bat. I mean, how does it feel, Raja Raman? How would you feel that you lead a team this season and next season you sit out? So it's been unfair. I would love Rahane to get more opportunities because he is a classy batsman. There is no doubt. What do you feel, Raja Raman?
There is. I don't think anybody can question his batting credentials, but I think in this format he's been struggling a little bit. And in a side like Delhi Capitals, which has got some wonderful hitter, terrific range of strokes that each one of them play, it's going to be difficult for him to hold his play. I think Rahane's utility will be when pitches deteriorate to a great extent and the stroke players are not able to unleash their shot. Somebody will have to play the holding role, and I think that can be Ajinkya Rahane. He is a wonderful asset to the side, and I think the team recognizes that.
You have said it very aptly, very beautifully, that he will be the batsman when the pitches deteriorate. Delhi Capitals will not have a better batsman than Rahane to hold the fort.
Sadly for Chennai Super Kings fans, the batting effort of the side went to naught. Everybody who came into bat contributed to taking the score to 180.
Yes, and that's what it is about. CSK, earlier days, yes, Dhoni would take on the mantle. He has played some outstanding innings. You had Suresh Raina, who would pull the team out of rut on his shoulders. But here, with everybody contributed, it was a good collective effort, and that's what you expect from a team which, like you said, is not very young, but they're still very competitive at this level. And Chennai Super Kings, please don't rule them out. They can still come back.
Right, Vijay. We will move to the earlier game. Royal Challengers Bangalore beating Rajasthan Royals by a comfortable margin in the end, even though it needed AB de Villiers to come and unleash the fireworks in the end. You got to see Simon Katich admit that the team had made a mistake in the earlier game and that AB de Villiers was batting at the right order. Let's watch what Simon Katich has to say before we get to discussing the game, Vijay.
Yeah, he's a freak, isn't he? That's why he's the greatest of all time. I think what we saw today was another masterclass. We've seen a number of them already this tournament. He had one here against Mumbai, which was magnificent. And then obviously the other day he got, I think, 73 off 33 as well. So we certainly made sure that he batted in his right position today. We've certainly learned from that mistake, but yeah, he was wonderful and the main reason we won the game today. I think he was magnificent. Obviously, Chris Morris was brilliant. Chahal got us back in the game as well with his 2 wickets there after they got off to a really good start. So, we had a number of very, crucial performances from those guys, but AB basically won us the game single-handedly. It looked like Rajasthan deserved to win that game today, and we got out of jail, really.
It is very rare for a coach or a captain to admit that the team had made mistakes in an earlier game, but it was nice to watch Simon Katich admit that error.
Yes, a true sportsman, and a good. That's what the coach's job is. But to admit, yeah, they made a mistake. And I was reading A.V. de Villiers' column. He had no rancor against anyone. He just accepted that it was a team decision which probably didn't click. but it happens. You make certain mistakes and you learn from them. And that's why I think AB de Villiers returned to his regular batting slot. And Raja Raman, you also should thank yourself. We are not reporting AB de Villiers because we would have run out of words and expressions to describe his batting.
I think it is best to watch him play the way he does, take so much joy from what he does in the middle, and admire him from the distance, Vijay, and maybe a day later come back and celebrate his batting. I think you can't do anything more than celebrate his batting. It can get frustrating for the bowlers. Let's watch what Steve Smith has to say about his bowlers having to bowl to AB de Villiers.
It's pretty tough to do anything when he's in that kind of mood. You know, he's such a clean striker of the ball. He's also very innovative, so he can hit you all around the ground, as we know, and as we've seen for a long period of time. So when he gets on a roll, you need to do things like, I don't know, double bluff every now and again. Just try and minimise the damage and try and get him out as well. If he stays in there, obviously he's pretty dangerous. So, as we've seen for a long period of time. So, you know, he played a pretty amazing innings tonight. Yeah, and unfortunately we were on the other end of it.
It's always tough, Vijay. I don't think it is the easiest of jobs bowling to someone who can play a range of strokes like only AB de Villiers can, and he has done this for a number of years.
Yes, and I mean, if you realize he's not a kind of, what should I say? He's not sitting on his laurels. He's innovating. He's taking them on. And my only worry, watching him bat in this fashion, is that I hope he's not peaking too early for Royal Challengers Bangalore. I mean, let him fail in the next 2 games. I don't mind, but he should keep his best for the playoffs, because that is where he will be required to be at his best.
I think it's also a right time to watch what Steve Smith had to say about his decision to bowl Jaydev Unadkat in the 19th over. It's again very good to watch a captain defend his bowler like he did.
It was a tough one. I thought, you know, JD bowls his cutters and stuff into the wicket and bowls really well normally to a long boundary to the leg side. It wasn't an awful over. It was some pretty serious batting, to be honest. There's not too many guys that can hit the ball the way AB did, under pressure to a big side and clear the fence pretty easily. So yes, in hindsight, knowing the result, I would go the other way and back Jofra to maybe get him out or bowl a better over and then JD bowl the last one. But, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Good on Steve Smith. He spoke so well about Jaydev Unadkat as being a good bowler, as someone who brings his experience to the table. And like he said, Vijay, hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Hindsight is a very wonderful thing, because if Unadkat had clicked, like I said, it would have been a great decision. Since he did not, then everybody's asking, why wasn't Archer bowled? Yes, it would have been a very cricketing logic. You would have your best bowler to come and bowl the 19th over, put the pressure on the opposition so that they are facing a target of, say, 25 or more in the last over. But it did not click, and there would have been a collective decision on the field. They would have thought about it quickly and decided to have Unadkat to bowl the over. But never mind, it did not click. But hats off to Smith. He took on the blame upon himself.
I think, Vijay, what we do is we keep wondering why X thing happened or why it did not happen. Let us assume Jofra Archer had bowled the 19th over. It is possible that AB de Villiers would have hit him for 4 sixes rather than just 3. Similarly, in an earlier game, it is possible that AB de Villiers would have come in at the top earlier in the order and been dismissed first ball. There is no guarantee that somebody would succeed. There is no guarantee that a decision of a captain made after a lot of consideration will succeed, because there is somebody else at the other end of the crease. You might be the best batsman in the world, but bowlers are coming to try and take your wicket. I think it's very important for us to realize, especially the fans, that captains make decisions at the spur of the moment, and they've got to back themselves.
That's what I like about cricket. You know, everybody has his opinion, should have an opinion, because ultimately the cricket fan is responsible. He is the one who keeps the game going by filling up the stadiums and cheering for the players. But I feel hurt only when passing judgment on sweeping statements are made on a particular player, and especially if he's a legend, if he's an achiever, you have to be a little careful when you. It looks like you're waiting to run him down and not really assess his captaincy or performance in an objective manner.
There was one other captaincy decision, Vijay, yesterday that made a difference. And we got to see Robin Uthappa open the innings for Rajasthan Royals. He'd not been performing in the lower order, and then for him to come and play the way he did. Steve Smith and Rajasthan Royals did really well to push Robin Uthappa up so that they could have Josh Butler's experience as a finisher.
Yeah, and I think it will be interesting to find out, Raja Raman, if Robin Uthappa was the one who would have said, yes, I will take this responsibility, because he is again a very brave, adventurous, you may call it at times, but he's again an entertaining batsman, and he is a team man. So I wouldn't be surprised if even he would have volunteered to take up the responsibility in the interest of the team.
Vijay, sometimes opposition also admires a decision that a team makes. Let's watch what Simon Katich has to say about Robin Uthappa coming in to bat at the top of the order.
Oh, look, I think they probably did it to try and change up how we go about it. Obviously sending an aggressive right-hander out there to combat Sundar, and he certainly did that in the second over. So from their point of view, I think, that was probably the tactics from their perspective. We didn't really want to change up too much. And I thought he played really well. It was a crucial knock that he played today, because he got them off to a really good start and then allowed them to probably, try and increase things in the middle overs with a bit of a buffer with the run rate. So from that point of view, I think it worked. And then having Butler in the middle overs, we know that he's a magnificent finisher. So tactically, I thought they did a good thing today.
I think it is also time for us to watch what Steve Smith had to say about this decision.
We wanted a bit more experience in the middle with Joss. We obviously know Joss is an amazing opener, but he's also, I think, one of the best at the back end. Just give us a bit more balance to the side. Obviously, Robbie's done a lot of opening, and I thought he played particularly well this afternoon as well. It'd be disappointing he didn't go on with it a bit more, but he got the team off to a good start. And yeah, that was the reasoning behind it.
Unfortunate for Rajasthan Royals, despite the decision working well in its favor, it ended up on the losing side. Vijay, we move on to tonight's game. There again a double-header on Sunday. We've got two very interesting clashes. The first is Sunrisers Hyderabad against Kolkata Knight Riders. That should be a good game given the fact that teams are both in the middle of the table. And then you've got Mumbai Indians, which is at the top of the table, playing against Kings 11 Punjab. Two exciting games tonight.
Yeah, Punjab would be very motivated after the last match performance, and they should be looking forward to an encore, but not a last ball finish after having dominated the game. And for Hyderabad, it is a beautiful opportunity to put it across KKR and establish their claim for a spot in the playoff.
KKR has not had a good run in the last couple of games. They have struggled with that batting of theirs. Andre Russell has been a massive disappointment this season with the bat. They will be hoping that Russell will make a sizable contribution today if he gets the opportunity to bat. And in the other game, Vijay, I think Mumbai Indians are carrying too many guns at this point of time for Kings 11 Punjab, even though Punjab is on the rebound and has won a very good game against Royal Challengers Bangalore. But I think it is going to be Mumbai Indians and its bowling attack that will carry the day.
Definitely. I mean, they have a very, very effective bowling attack. But what about their batting? I mean, you look at the top half, top order, top heavy. It's a fabulous batting lineup. So Punjab bowlers will have to be at their best to contain the likes of Pollard, Rohit Sharma, especially. It should be an exciting contest.
Right, Vijay. On that note, I'll take leave of you. Thank you very much for the time today. As always, it's been engaging. And we can only hope that fans understand that captains make a decision on the field depending on the resources that are available to them at that point of time.